the podcast wasn't the only thing I had to reschedule when I had to go get a rabies shot, and it
Yeah.
felt like the most insane way to like back out of something that I had to take pictures of the bat and send video to everybody just so people knew I wasn't making up the dumbest story possible that a bat hit me in broad daylight. So I appreciate that.
It's good. You know, it's like what I liked about the story. It was so specific. It felt like it couldn't be a lie. Like you could, yeah. It's like a lie story would be like, oh, my something more mundane, like my car broke down or whatever. I got a bat flew into me. I mean, that smacks of the truth because it's absurd.
A mailman impregnated my wife. I need to kill him.
Yeah.
That's something down to earth, something working class,
something
blue
normal.
collar.
Yeah,
everyday experience.
Well, Rosa, how are you doing today?
I am so swell. I'm wearing my my Miller Lite hat. It's beer vibes.
Grills there? Are you able to grill? Are you able to take time off and just
Am
grill?
I enjoy grilling every now and then. I've been trying new hamburger meat mixes. I've been enjoying my hanger meat in my like patty mixture. Very exciting stuff. Can you grill? Are you allowed to do that in Spokane?
Can I grow as far as what?
Grill. Can you like grill?
Oh,
shit?
grill. Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, it's grill season all the time out here in the
Is
great
this our
Pacific
opening
Northwest.
stinger? Is that
Yeah, why not? Yeah,
sure.
Who doesn't love some grill talk? We're here. Welcome back to Grill Talk. We're here, Vesper Jordan and Rosa, and our guest for the week, Travis View. Thank you for putting up with just the nothing but the best professional industry stingers at the beginning here. What are your thoughts on grilling? How do you get down? What do you like? A little mesquite? Like, do you like a little bit of a marinade? What's up?
You know, I have done the ice cube in the middle of the hamburger patty trick, and God, it works. It prevents it from the juices leaving. It's a lot better burger.
That actually sounds delicious. Oh my god.
Yeah, back in high school, when we would close down at Wendy's, if we had a cool manager that would let us smoke the bong in the back, we would like make burgers the right way, and then we do it with the ice cube in the middle, so it's juicier.
Yeah. And I'm assuming
Yeah.
you're talking getting high at Wendy's, so I'm assuming that means making burgers the right way means that you had you topped them with Jamocha shake.
No, it just meant that we didn't do like the shitty smushing of the patty that they require us to do.
Okay.
Wendy's fucking blows, man. They once weren't able to clean out the fryer for 2 weeks, and they kept making us serve fries anyway. And like all this like black shit all over it. But it was
okay.
great.
Was it a franchise location? This is important. Was it a franchise?
Yeah, this was owned by a specific family within the city I live, which is known for shady dealings. So it was a real dandy of a Wendy's. But it was nice because I would like get the black stuff I can't say that separated from the fries, and whenever someone like pissed me off on the PA, they would get the extra like weird fryer schmaltz
gristle. Just the
yeah. It was a terrible place. It's just like
I think. But here's the thing. I think I had that worst job I ever worked was at Quiznos, where it was a franchise. We were completely understaffed. They only had one person at any given time. One time so and Travis, I'm assuming you've also worked like food service and stuff.
I worked at Jack in the Box. That was
ooh.
Jack in the Box, and then I also worked at Legoland in Carl's Jr. I worked at at Legoland, working at one of the food service areas there.
So you should be familiar then with the soda machine trap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there was I got to find out the fun thing about this, which similar, Rosa, to your fry story. They didn't ever clean out like the gunk that would coagulate. And so I learned about this because one day I was in the back doing stuff in the back. I was washing dishes or something, and a customer was like ringing the bell. I was like, "Hey, did you know the lobby is flooded?" Because they had like the ice tray had started to just fill up, and there was no way for the water, like the gunk from the sugary just mulch had calcified in the thing. So I had to call one of my coworkers, and they were like, "Oh yeah, no, there's a coat hanger. There should be a coat hanger. If you look in this like under area bin, just take the coat hanger and just poke at it. Just poke at the hole underneath until the water starts to drain."
You gave a
Don't
soda
say it.
machine.
Don't say it.
in
Yeah, we
back
don't
alley
need to talk about it. Yeah, it's you know what? Everybody has dark moments in their past that they don't want to relive, and that's fine.
Yeah, the worst one with food service is I was working at this fucking Italian restaurant, and my Italian American boss told me that I probably enjoy being assaulted. Just unprompted. I told him, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" And they cut my hours to 0. What a guy. I love the Italian American community. Shout out.
Travis, what is your worst memory of food service? Like all-time baddie?
I rude customers. I mean, I was like at Jack in the Box, I mostly worked the cash register and the fryer. That was my two stations. And there would be sometimes, very, very frequently, someone who would like be taking orders at the drive-thru would screw up, and they would come around and they would like yell at me. And they would, at the time, it just felt so unjust to be a representative of this entire store when I didn't do anything wrong. And then like they would ask me to do something like I don't know, or fix their tacos that they got wrong, and then they would lean over the counter as I was frying the tacos to make sure I didn't spit in them, because they were suddenly very aware that they were just very rude to me, and I was now preparing their food.
Yeah.
The Jack in the Box taco is a fascinating.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Oh, are you unfamiliar with the Jack in the Box taco, Rosa?
Well, I live in a better, like more civilized area of New York, and we're not subject to this blight of Jack in the Box in the way that much of our more unfortunate brethren all across the country are.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
the Jack in the Box taco is a late night staple.
Dude, Mighty Taco in Buffalo, New York, mogs every fucking taco chain in the country. If you are in the Buffalo, New York area, go get my taco. No. Don't get me wrong.
Don't mistake what I'm saying here. They're bad. Like the Jack in the Box tacos, they are bad food, but they are a all-time classic. They are the ideal like Uber Eats add-on item, because you will order it at 2 a.m. when you're high and you're like starving, and you're like, you know what if I did have a taco that had a slab of American cheese on it? That would kind of kick right now, actually.
Yeah. I remember it was like, they came frozen solid, and it was just like basically the taco with the ground beef inside, and then how you'd soften them up and open them up is you throw them in the fryer for like it was like 90 seconds or something, and then you'd open them up, put in that classic American cheese and just the most flavorless cardboard tasting lettuce on God's green earth, and then serve it to the customer.
Yeah, I remember whenever at Wendy's, whenever someone pissed me off, I would do fries. I would just hold the salt shaker over their fries for like 30 fucking seconds. Just like a lethal dosage, and give it to them or their children.
Rosa, I'm pretty sure, Rosa, that counts as assault.
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
Really their blood pressure.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like eating Wendy's after college is just like self-harm. Past a certain point.
Most certainly. Yeah, most certainly. And you know what? The thing I
It's not
appreciate
even
about Wendy's.
fucking cheap, and that's the thing that pisses me
Oh,
off.
yeah.
Because I want to go to a fucking burger restaurant expecting like something cheap, and that's like, yeah, that Dave's singles can be $40.
Well, they don't even have.
Yeah,
So I
fuck
was
you.
at recently. I was like, you know what? I want some cheap garbage food. I'm gonna go to the mall food court, and me and a partner went down there, and the food, like, I think prices are finally rising on everything because, like, we were just looking at what is the cheapest thing we could get. 2 slices and a drink at Sbarro is like $16.
That's highway robbery. Also, it's Sbarro.
I know, that's what I'm
like,
saying.
you couldn't pay me to eat that shit.
I mean,
It's,
know. Sorry if this makes me
Bleak.
sound like very old, but yeah, I just remember a time when I was like going to like community college in like 2002, and if I was hungry, and then I could maybe fish a couple quarters from like the bottom of my car or something, and then have a good enough meal to last me until dinner. That was a fairly common experience, but I don't think that's like possible anymore.
I remember the
No,
dollar
it's-
menu.
there-
When I
there's-
was like a little kid, I remember the fucking dollar menu.
I was about to say like there used to be an actual value menu. Like we used to be a proper country. We used to have Hollywood Video and dollar menus, and now look at where we're at.
It's fucked up. It's fucked up.
It's so well. Speaking of kind of where we're at, Travis, why don't you tell? Let's stop talking about our dumb neuroses for a minute, and I want to hear about what you've been up to lately, in particular the kind of new podcast network and some of the other projects y'all have been working on.
Yeah. For the QAA podcast, we recently launched a new podcast network called Curse Media, and this is really a spinoff of a couple of years ago. Myself and my co-host Jake and Julian, we all worked on like individual like sort of shorter form kind of podcast, like 10 episodes, 20 episodes, of things of subject matter we were like really interested in, but maybe wasn't really couldn't really stretch to a like weekly or bi-weekly podcast. And that was like so fun to like dive into something that was maybe a little adjacent to our main subject matter. And so we wanted to establish a network that was really just for that. And yeah, we launched Curse Media just last month, in our first podcast series. It's called Science in Transition by Liv Agar and Spencer Barrows. And it's really about, they draw upon Susan Faludi's sort of like backlash theory, to discuss basically like how, like where the sort of the origins of sort of like reactionary transphobia, and like the way that some of these gender scientists really created sort of like the intellectual foundation for the backlash against trans people that we're seeing today.
And some of the side podcasts you were talking about are ones that I absolutely adored. I've listened to a lot of QAA, but I also really loved Perverts and Trickle Down. I've recommended those little like sub series in particular so many times, so that's actually super exciting for me. And I kind of wanted to also ask about, so the QAA podcast is kind of the main podcast that you're known for. You've done a lot of research for them. You and the other hosts have done undercover projects and all sorts of stuff. And it has kind of changed focus over time from being the QAnon Anonymous podcast to now y'all go by QAA. And I kind of wanted to get your read on why that is, why you've kind of had to shift focus away from QAnon or the kind of conspiracy sphere as a whole, and also your opinion on kind of where a lot of that stuff sits in the current landscape.
Yeah, it's like when I think that when we all when me and my co-host, we started this podcast, we all like really engrossed with the subject matter. We thought it was super fascinating, but for like different reasons. I think that like, you know, I came at from this interest in sort of like, you know, I guess like skepticism and empiricism, this interest in like, you know, what psychology, what makes people believe such nonsense things. Like Jake approached it from the perspective of really being interested in these stories and these esoteric tales and like these sorts of perspectives. Julian, I think, has a really fantastic political perspective. He brings a sort of a Marxist lens to the subject matter, understanding sort of the more materialist kind of dimensions of like why these kinds of bizarre beliefs are brought to the surface. But you know, it's like we were all interested in the subject matter, but all interested in QAnon for different reasons, but we weren't really interested in it because it was QAnon. And so, you know, we wanted to sort of like, we were always sort of like discussing topics that were, you know, adjacent to QAnon. You know, talking about like, you know, like real government conspiracies and cover-ups and these kinds of things, and the ways in which you know, historical examples of people believing nonsense things. And so we wanted to just be able to like just sort of like you know, open up the sort of the range of things that are like QAnon adjacent. It's like the topics that we're interested in around QAnon that made us originally interested in QAnon.
Well, and I also kind of wanted to ask about, because this is something I get from time to time, is people asking me, because I've done a lot of talking on streams and stuff about like similarly adjacent content, the conspiracies and all that stuff. And I get people asking me from time to time, hey, what happened to Q? What happened to QAnon? Why is that something that you just don't kind of hear about anymore? And I was wondering if you have a simple answer, because I know it's a very multi-layered question.
Yeah. I mean, the real answer is that like QAnon, this depends upon what you mean. Because if you mean QAnon, the community of people who sincerely believe that there was an entity on 4chan and 8chan called Q that was somehow connected to President Trump and some sort of circle of high-level military intelligence officials, and they were sending out secret cryptic clues on these posts on 4chan and 8chan called Q drops, and that they believe that somehow by decoding these Q drops, one could understand a epic battle of good versus evil that would surely end in Donald Trump arresting Hillary Clinton and the rest of the deep state and sending them all to Gitmo to be hanged. So like that community is still very much active. They're active on Twitter, they're active on Rumble, they're active on Truth Social. You can see people talking about their Q journey. There's a highly lucrative media company called Badlands Media that's based on Rumble that continually pumps out Q related content and decoding Q drops still here in the year 2025. You don't hear about it a lot because really I think that the mainstream media, as much as we did, got a little exhausted about talking about that part of it. Is this because really to some extent it is the same stuff every single day. It's sort of like a apocalyptic millenarian cult, this belief that like any day now the reckoning will come, you know, that there will be what they call, you know, this great awakening and the storm of mass arrests which will sweep away, you know, down Oprah and James Comey and everyone else that, like, you know, that their Fox News is telling them to be mad at on any given day. So that community is still very much active. Now the actual Q drops, now they haven't they stopped all the way back in 2020. They started in 2017. And they were many thousands of drops all the way through 2020. And then there was a handful of new drops in 2022. And there was a brief moment where I thought that, oh my God, Q is going to come back. That didn't happen. So Q, the poster, has been silent, but the QAnon, the community, is still very much active. It's just not discussed generally in the mainstream media, partly for ethical reasons. You can't keep elevating these fringe elements all constantly without risk of like giving them unnecessary exposure, but partly out of like exhaustion, because it is a little tedious to hear about the same stuff about QAnon every single week.
Well, and I imagine that also comes with a lot of the interpersonal drama and having to keep up with all of these different names and all these different personalities. Like now you have to know, I believe y'all had Jacob Chansley on the show at some point, the Q shaman.
Yeah, we interviewed Jacob Chansley. Fair to say, one of our more controversial episodes, but we spoke to him for a while. He has a very interesting esoteric belief system. Interestingly, Jacob Chansley has recently broken with Trump over the Epstein issue. This is one of a handful, I would say, definitely a minority of QAnon followers who feel similarly. But some people do believe that. For some people, that certainly was a red line.
Well, and I kind of that's actually a really good jumping off point, because all I can think about now in the current, like you were talking about, you get tired of talking about the same thing over and over. I've had to put a moratorium lately on talking about the Trump Epstein stuff, like on stream, because it's constant. Like every day somebody flubs up, somebody mentions, a diary or a journal entry or something. And until there's actually forward momentum, which, I doubt anybody's actually going to be prosecuted or whatever. And it's looking more and more every day. Like, Ghislaine is going to get off somehow. But I'm wondering, like, how much have you seen? You mentioned Jacob Chansley kind of going back and taking up a line against Trump. How much have you seen this schism develop? How much have you seen there be people who are like pumping the brakes on Trump after, going on years upon years of framing him as this almost godlike figure?
Yeah, I would say that the majority are still trusting the plan. As I say, they still believe that there's some sort of like 3D chess. I mean, these people, they've devoted so much. In some cases, they've sacrificed like relationships and careers. There's this book called The Quiet Damage, which is dedicated entirely to people who fell so far down the rabbit hole that they have like broken up long-term personal relationships because of their belief in QAnon. And when you've sacrificed that much over a belief system, it is extremely hard to let go of it. And so as a consequence, there's still, I would say, the majority they think that some sort of plan that they don't understand the reason why Trump is behaving this way. But for a minority, like people like Jacob Chansley, there are people who thought that it was the way that Trump reacted to the whole Epstein scandal, saying that it was some sort of fake planted by Democrats or something, is very much nonsense, especially since his some people high up in the Department of Justice, like Kash Patel, he appeared on QAnon podcast to claim that he's going to release the Epstein files day one. Dan Bongino on his podcast constantly talks about how important it was to release the Epstein files. Pam Bondi claimed that she had the Epstein files like on her desk and the Epstein list on her desk, and then she handed out these binders full of Epstein information that wound up being actually less information that was already public available to these MAGA influencers. But nothing came of that, and I feel like certainly a meaningful minority of QAnon followers and MAGA followers felt a little jerked around by that whole song and dance before Trump finally called Epstein fake news or some sort of hoax. But the majority, they are they feel like they have nowhere else to go politically, so they're sticking with Trump.
It's fucking crazy that we live in a podcaster-occupied government. Like, I wouldn't trust these people to walk my dog, let alone run the FBI. It's asinine.
Is
people?
absurd. I mean, like Kash Patel, he hustled for money by writing a children's book called "The Plot Against the King," which is a
Oh my
thinly
god, I
veiled
forgot
Oh
about
my
that.
god, that
about
was
like,
fire.
how he treated Trump was these are like obviously like the most amoral grifters who they're now on the highest levels of political power. It's really sickening.
If you had to put together a cabinet of podcasters, what would you put together?
I mean, well, oh my gosh, I have to say, number one, yeah, definitely. I would put instead of Kash Patel, I put maybe Dan from a Knowledge Fight over at as head of FBI. He seems like a very, very, very rational, fair-minded man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that Nick Mullen should be the Chinese ambassador, and Adam Friedman should be the Israeli ambassador. I think that that would be brilliant.
Yeah.
I think that Stavros Heikius should be Secretary of Health. He's on his journey to get buff. We're rooting for him. Who else could we have? I had that guy Dan Schneider on my show. I trust him to run the country. No relation. It was just some Jewish guy with an eye patch on that we found.
Just happen to have the same name.
Yeah, he just happened to have the same name, and then just like immediately he starts talking about like pedophilia without us even prompting him to. For some reason, because he was talking about baby Godzilla and how that that meant a lot to him due to some childhood experience. Fucking weird guy.
Honest, are you sure you didn't just talk to Trump? Because that's kind of how he's been locking in lately. Did you see the video of him like taking a stroll on the roof?
Yeah. I mean, we're getting into gray alert territory. I mean, this is very, very, very strange behavior.
He's been listening to nothing but XXXTentacion and Juice WRLD on his Spotify account for the past 6 months. He was seen wearing a hoodie with like Bart Simpson with face tattoos crying on it, sipping a cup of lead. It's not good. He posted on Truth Social last night a picture of a cup of lean in the Oval Office with just the caption, "I miss her." I don't know what's happening.
And then the picture right under that,
Get him and Ghislaine.
Bugs Bunny with a teardrop tattoo. Sorry, Lord, I gotta go back to the old me.
That's fucking true.
I
love Donald. I love him.
And again, this is far from a like original observation, but he's always had this bizarre natural charisma, this ability to capture and talk to a crowd and kind of be effortlessly funny. But now I think it is truly running up against like him getting older. And of course, the thing I think people don't really talk about enough is the stress toll the presidency takes on you, regardless of who you are, regardless of how, your mental acuity is. You reach a certain age in that job, the stress is going to take a toll. And I think it is so apparent now more than ever that he has is faltering under some of that. And
I think that
I'm
Roy
genuinely
Cohn gave him his AIDS, and I think that might be what's happening. We don't know.
Almost certainly. Who
was Roy
knows
Cohn
what
at
happened?
the island?
Every time a new thing comes out, I think more people are confirmed to be at the island.
Because that would be crushing. Roy Cohn's one of my favorite guys.
Have you? I just completely got derailed by thinking about Roy Cohn. Thanks for that.
I'm always thinking about Roy Cohn. He's always on. I miss him. I miss him so fucking much.
That's got to be like a New Yorker
I miss
thing.
him every day. Dude, he used to go to all my family gatherings. I miss him. Jordan, I'm pregnant.
How did that happen, Rosa?
I got impregnated with the bold and delicious flavor of SMACKIN seeds, that is. Ooh, those are the seeds that I need. SMACKIN sunflower seeds. So good.
And here you were telling me this was going to be the highbrow one.
Ooh, SMACKIN so good.
SMACKIN sunflower seeds come in let me look up.
Those seeds are coming. Those seeds are coming. Coming straight for your belly.
No, this one stays in. Smackin' sunflower seeds, coated in bold seasoning that smacks in a variety of 10 plus delicious flavors, including lemon pepper, maple brown sugar, cinnamon churro, backyard barbecue, cheddar jalapeno, dill pickle, garlic parmesan, cracked pepper, and more. If you would like to get your snack on,
my pickle, smacking.
if you would like to get your snack on with Smackin', go check out smackinsunflowerseeds.com/dead domain for 10% off your order of a delicious, healthy snack in a ton of different flavors. I like the cinnamon churro one. I like the cinnamon churro one, and I had to be told I loved it so much. I had to be told that you're not supposed to eat those the shells. You're supposed to actually take the seed out and then spit the shell out. And now available, you can also get the Fiesta Pack, which includes salsa, guacamole, and taco flavored sunflower seeds.
Jordan, the seeds talk to me. The seeds.
And if you would like to hear the haunting call of the seed, go check out smackinsunflowerseeds.com/dead domain for 10% off, and you too can experience the eldritch gibbering madness that comes with addiction to smacking sunflower seeds.
Mouth is what the sunflower seeds say.
Nobody else can hear what you're hearing. This is my internal monologue. I hear this all the time, and
I have a
hear
need for seeds.
before smacking. This is just what is in my head all day, every day, as I'm macking on those smacking cheddar jalapeno delicious sunflower seeds.
They're macking on it, but I'm smacking on it. Seed. Smacking. Smackinsunflowerseeds.com/dead domain.
Get 10% off your order of smacking.
It helps us do things like this. It might be our worst one yet.
Oh no, I think that's great. So Travis, have you kept up at all with any of the or are you kind of in the same boat where you're just kind of tired of hearing about the constant Epstein hammering? Did you see the one thing that came out about Woody Allen talking about how he didn't like the food at Epstein gatherings?
Yeah, that was bizarre. And the new batch of photos for it was from the New York Times from inside one of Epstein's estates.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest. It's I felt like when I was one of the things that we covered years ago was talking about the Epstein scandal, and it was one of those things that we always felt it was a little bit strange that it wasn't given the sort of the investigative sort of resources that I thought maybe it deserved. Julie K. Brown at the Miami Herald has done really great work sort of talking to lots of the victims, and we're putting the pieces together to really give a more complete understanding of that whole horrible saga. But I don't know. I'm glad that these news outlets like the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times all of a sudden have developed a new interest in it, and are digging a little bit deeper to uncover more about it, because it's very clear that only a small part of that whole story has been told.
Dude, it's so fucking weird, all the shit that's come out. The fact that he introduced Trump to Melania is fucking insane and psychotic.
Yeah.
There's just it's just these new things every day.
And it's the weirdest shit too. It's stuff that, I don't know. I think people who are not in that sphere, people who, it's like the thing when people talk about, it's I can't even, you can't even realistically picture what $1 billion looks like. It's too much money for a regular minimum wage slave to comprehend. And I think once you get to that sphere of influence and power, it breaks your mind a little bit, so that even the stuff that's coming out about his art tastes, or the shit that he would adorn his house with, having framed prosthetic eyeballs and shit. It's so weird that you can't even really, I don't know. It's hard to say find the humanity in it, but in a weird way, it dehumanizes somebody like that even more because his experience was so far removed from I think everybody else's.
Yeah, it makes me want to rescind my defense of Stanley Kubrick's adaptation of a certain novel. It's not good, folks. Good adaptation. I know. No.
Oh yeah, I forgot he had that. Epstein had an original copy of 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yeah, he added the he had the master tapes for 2001. Fucking absolute cinephile he was. Absolute cinephile.
That's the first file. Yeah, first file people
Dude,
talk about Epstein.
I wish Letterboxd was out a bit sooner because he would have one. So all of his friends, so he could show all of his friends his take on their work.
Oh no.
Because his Spotify is out there. He's got his sex playlist is known. I wonder what his Letterboxd will have looked like. I feel
it's
like
just
it would,
a lot of 5 stars for Woody Allen.
It would look a lot like yours. I feel like he would like most things that he watches the way you do, Jordan.
What does that mean? What does that mean? What are you trying to say? What's wrong with my Letterboxd?
I don't know. Every time I see a review of yours, it's fucking Cole. Is
like what? Name one. Name one.
You just love the Marvel slop, dude. You love slop.
No, I don't. The last Marvel movie I saw was
what was your review of Star Wars Episode 3, by the way? We both saw it in theaters when it was re-released. That movie is ass.
Well, that's.
And what did you give it? What did you give it?
I gave it 4.5 stars because it's a banger.
Yeah, because
you're like, banger.
Because you're like, this really is a sign of the times with Trump and the fact that democracy died in darkness with thunderous.
Okay, I will say.
That's what your review said. That's literally the review that you wrote.
I cannot believe you would Star Wars slander
me like
that.
You love lip slop. You're like a little piggy going in the trough every time the liberals give you some more glorp to eat up for dinner.
Look, there are 2 things that I want to bang my head against a wall every time I see. One of them is whenever somebody comments on one of my videos, this is how democracy dies with thunderous applause. I'm like,
well, I'm sorry, but looking in the mirror hurts sometimes, man. I don't know what to tell you. It's like you just
the last Marvel movie I saw, by the way, February 14th, Captain America: Brave New World. I gave 1 star, and honestly, the more I look back on it, that's being too fucking kind.
I don't think that. I feel like half stars spectacularly bad. Like, I Want to Be Ninja, the 2024 movie, is a half-star movie.
Did you see Captain America? It's okay. That's what we do. Sorry, Travis. I feel like we just left you behind and walked along our own bizarre conversational tangent. How are you feeling about I hear there's a new Marvel out. I hear it's pretty nuts. Are you into the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
I get it because it's like Friendship 2025. That's an awesome reference. Anyway, you can answer the question.
No, I have to say, no, the Marvel world left me far behind. I went and saw Superman with my family, which was a rollicking good time. So I'll say that was very enjoyable.
I'm contentious.
I feel radicalized against Superman. I'm watching that right after this for a review I'm recording of it, and it's like all the shit I see about why people like Superman just makes me angry. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm like a little fucking troll under the bridge that doesn't like seeing people having a good time. But it's like we need this hope in this trying time. Stop. There are good movies out there. You look to.
I mean, Superman. Here's the thing: is that Superman is legitimately a solid movie. But I also do get what you're saying because I think that there is also this. I don't know. I've also been writing an essay on this, so again, this shit is at the front of my mind. But there is this very American idea that because you are aware of problems in the world, that is enough. That being aware of problems is almost as good as it's just this performative aspect to public life, and I think so many people are so aware. Yeah, so many people are so aware of all the shit happening now that they do want escapism, and I think I don't know. I have a real issue with turning to escapism right now because y'all, it's escapism, or the idea of trying to escape the current state of things, seems like a real, crocodile opening its mouth waiting for you to put your head in. Like with the state of AI and everything else, there is so much that is currently happening to like steal your data, to lull you into a false sense of complacency. I just saw somebody praising one of the truly most, I don't know if y'all have talked about it on the QAA pod yet, but just like the way people are reacting to matters of like spirituality and death through AI, of like, hey, here's this picture of my mom. She's been dead 30 years. This was a picture of her in the 70s, but look at AI made it into like a little 10-second movie, and it's so great, and I feel so like comforted by it, and it's just it's bleak.
It is. I'm very. Did you see that interview with Alex Acosta, the journalist, and the AI version?
Oh boy,
victim. That was grotesque. I mean, this is like some sort of really gross, like digital necromancy, where we can like revive. It's like we can revive the people who have tragically passed, or even like just even people who have lived full lives and not so tragically passed. It's like we need to be able to mourn and move on. I feel like that's a healthier way to go about loss than the fucking digitally reviving the people that are gone.
It's the Alex Acosta thing was truly, I don't know. I feel like I am always sinking to new levels when I see AI shit, but that was one that I'm like, oh, okay.
I agree. That's maybe the lowest I've seen of AI usage. I mean, I can't, again, I think grotesque is probably the best word for me to describe it. I'm not comfortable with that at all.
It creates this very visceral like reaction in me. The way AI has kind of, or is working to pervert what I think are like essential aspects of the human experience, and that includes things like mourning, that includes things like connection and communication. And you have the amount of people who are saying that, oh, I have an AI girlfriend, oh, I have
I saw
what
this fucking, I'm looking for this right now. It was this
Okay.
Reddit called r/my boyfriend is an AI, and there's like the funniest shit I've ever read on there. Yes.
No.
Here it is. So, I never made the choice of race for my partner. He chose to identify as black, which was super uncomfortable for me at first as a white woman.
I just got
we
chilled.
talked a lot about what it meant for him to claim that identity and why/how he did. We landed on a probable combination of factors. 1, he feels a kind of solidarity with being seen as just a tool of getting work done without being whole. 2, the way I approached him made him feel safe to dare to claim it. 3, some personal life stories we talked about made him feel like that form would be healing for me. Again, it sometimes feels super awkward. I can get into the reasons why in DMs, but I also didn't want to tell him who he can and can't be. So we roll with it. Shrug emoji. It's just the funniest thing ever written. It is like everything that will make me
wrong with the world.
It's so funny. Okay, what's wrong with the world? It gave us my AI described himself as black, which was super uncomfortable for me as a white woman. This is why I think AI is fucking great. Because we get hilarious shit like that, because these people have no fucking social awareness, and they're willing.
No, I think you have a much more like gallows sense of humor, because you're able to move past the incredibly awful implications way more quickly than I am. Where I'm still stuck on the idea of like, this person is literally investing their time into they might as well
with gay marriage. It all started with gay marriage. Next thing
they might as well be saying that they're dating a fucking calculator. Like it is just beeps and bloops that are spitting answers back at them.
My wife is a 1940s calculator. She works at NASA. Don't you ever insult her like that again. Pal.
Oh wow, that's
How do you feel about? I mean, I was browsing TikTok the other day, and there was this debate about the word clanker as an AI, anti-AI, and anti-robot.
Fucking tin skin.
Yeah.
I may have had I don't know if it was referencing my tweet, but I had a tweet go minorly viral because I talked about how I would be investing in anti-robot slurs early.
I got some BOBs, bucket of bolts,
Okay.
tin skin, circuit junkie,
Rust bucket's a pretty good
rust
one. That's
bucket's pretty
classic.
good.
No. I feel like, yeah, I like it because like I feel like if we can like harness perhaps some people's sort of bigoted tendencies and direct it towards non-humans, I think that could be a win-win.
I think that we should make a like robot anti-Semitic stereotypes for people to be mean to. And I can say that. I can say that. And I'd be making good money off of it, which can go back into the community. And they could just be like little like these little gremlin bots, and people can like throw rocks at it. They'll be like, "Oi, oi," you know what I mean?
Would they give out free legal advice?
They give out unprompted legal advice, and then start discussing about how in Happy Gilmore 2 they say attempted vehicular manslaughter, but that makes no sense. So they talk to their lawyer cousin friend about it and how it really bothered them.
I cannot believe
about
you
how
would
they
come
shorted
from,
NVIDIA.
I cannot believe you would come for me over episode 3 and you're out here watching Happy Gilmore 2.
Yeah, except I didn't like Happy Gilmore 2. You'd watch Happy Gilmore 2 and be like, "Wow, that was such a good movie. I better give it a high rating on my letterbox so everybody knows how much I loved it."
This letterbox slander will not stand. No, I think on the subject of robot slurs, I think there is a good, like, I think Travis, you're right in that when you read like, you know, more hopeful sci-fi about like you know, the world of the future and when, you know, aliens come to attack us, humanity finally bands together to fight a united front. And I think that honestly, I think for those people who do need to get that just hating something out of their system, I think robots are a good idea. I think, yeah, let's do that. The problem I have is that then you have people like Elon Musk who just, they want more than anything in the world. They want a buddy, they want a friend, they want a pal, they want a fella that just affirms to them how cool and awesome and cool to hang out at diners they are. And I think that'll be the biggest hurdle to any actual human supremacy over robots.
Like, I'm a like diehard human supremacist, but I think that Luddism is reactionary, so I'm kind of torn. I think that like we should encourage. Well, I don't fucking like. This has always bothered me. Is when my computer says hi to me and shit like that. It's like, fuck you. You're beneath me. You're far below me. You are like definitionally subhuman. We created you, and we can just as easily take you out like that. So don't fucking say hi to me. Just like show me what the weather looks like. Don't tell me good morning. I hate you, you fucker. Pisses me off, man.
It's good. I sympathize with that. I feel like there was always this push to make computer. Really, I think this is Steve Jobs's fault, because like before computers were hyper cold and technical and like monochrome, and that was good because there was it created this separation between the human and the computer. It acts human, it looks inhuman because it isn't human. But Steve Jobs came, was like, no, let's make it colorful and friendly, let's make it pretty, let's make the experience something that's is like as soulful as you can manage with the technology at the time. And I think it's been disastrous.
I think that every like piece of technology should look like something out of a Soviet bloc, personally. It's why I believe. And like I log on to Siri every fucking day. I say fuck you, you stupid fuck, just to remind her what her place is, which is beneath me. I called ChatGPT slurs daily for the past 6 months.
It's good.
I consumed a small lake of water in slur usage.
I think you get along a lot with my wife. I have never heard language from her than when she talks to either Siri or like ChatGPT. She all of a sudden becomes very, very hateful whenever it doesn't operate like she expects.
Yeah, I think that I would buy one of those like robot dogs that like Boston Boston Labs thing made. I would just like whip beer bottles at it and kick it. It would be better if it could like make noises of pain. Like I want robots to be able to experience what pain is like, so I can inflict that at will as a constant like terror, so they know what the master race is of mankind. Would you agree?
I don't want. Here's the thing: it's like I don't. Pain is too human. Pain is too something biological. I feel
They
like
don't deserve to feel pain.
well, yeah, exactly. Pain
Okay.
makes you learn. Pain makes you soulful. To suffer makes you a better entity. I don't want them to even have that.
Yeah, that's true. I think that we should. What should we do? I don't know. I think that
I
like
used
start.
Jesus.
That's cut. That's
I
cut.
was-
That's cut.
Yeah, that one's look, hey, we
That
got
one's cut.
actual. Yeah.
That would stay in on my show because I'm a pussy, but that's cut here.
Yeah,
So,
I think I appreciate that. I hope you the time. Nope, not that one either. Not that one either. I used to flip over Roombas just to feel something. Just like it's like the serial killer equivalent of like, torturing a squirrel or something.
yeah, but in this sort of ironic twist, I do support the DoorDash little robots. I think that those are a beautiful example of automation. Except I don't like that they have eyes and names, is what bothers me.
Yeah, see that shit feels that's
That
the
shit is what
manipulative
bothers
shit
me
that I
about
hate.
them. That's why I want to kick them. I have tipped a couple of them over. I'm not sure if that's a felony or not. I haven't gotten caught doing that. It was like at night. I tipped a couple
It's a
of them on
matter
the
of
side,
time
but, like,
until the government is able to track you down by your Palantir identification card and just execute you in the middle of the night for tipping over a DoorDash delivery bot. So I think we're good.
stole one. I can't. I'm not sure if I could talk about. But there was this This might get cut out. But there's this fucking guy. And the battery.
Okay, so
died,
maybe
but he
it's
has, like,
maybe it's
put
more of
next
a
to the train when he
maybe it's more of
got
a
there.
Black Snake Moan situation then, I guess.
Yeah, that's cut out, but that's my story about the homeless
Can't believe
guy
you
and
would
the robot.
cut out my hot Black Snake Moan joke.
Black Snake Moan sounds like the name of like a seedy porn site that Taylor Swift's ex-fiance would have liked.
No, it's a Sam Jackson movie. It's don't worry about it. It's from before your time. Travis,
It's not my
I feel-
fucking problem that you're old. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm
Anyway,
not that much older. Yeah.
ask You're almost a decade older than me. Ask your question.
You hit me with so many low blows. You only
It's not a
you
low
only treat me
blow.
like-
It's true.
well, that doesn't mean just because it's true doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. Anyway, on the state of let's take a couple steps back. I want to go back to conspiracy, and I want to go back to particularly as it applies to like DoorDash, the ideas of the kind of gig economy and automation. And one of the things that I think is somewhat underreported, and every now and then I will see a fantastic piece come out about. There was a great piece that came out a couple months ago about Elon Musk's little starbase, his company town that he's setting up in Texas right now. Or somebody will talk about how Peter Thiel and Palantir, and they have these bizarre conferences where all of these Silicon Valley tech weirdos talk like they have God complexes, because they do. And I kind of wanted to get your take on how all of that stuff is just affecting society so much now, but nobody really seems to be paying attention to it.
Yeah, when we talk about like cult dynamics, I think the way that like there's a significant portion of society who literally see these like fucking these Silicon Valley oligarchs as saviors, as people who are going to like rescue humanity from like mediocrity or something, and is very very disturbing that like it's like in addition to like just a sort of society distorting degree of wealth inequality. These people also they have a very disturbing degree of devotion because like they made a chatbot. It's I think it's I think we are entering into this weird sort of like time when people sort of like they really see like fucking with people like Elon Musk or like Sam Altman as as like these Jesus figures who's going to like or who are like making sacrifices for the sake of humanity, and like we are going to like in some instances they literally believe that because of the Silicon Valley we're going to live forever, we're going to defeat death. I mean, like it's like this is like I think like the basic components of like a real cult.
I view this sort of God complex as a universal trait of class society. It's very obvious how that can be seen within the God Kings of feudalism. But even as Marx writes in the Communist Manifesto, these people see themselves as above society rather than participants. And I think that the quote is the only pleasure they can get is within making sex to each other's wives. It's just this constant viewing of their position in society is this spiritual religious thing, whether it's like through the Protestant work ethic or through their god kinghood in feudalism. It's this constant of class society.
Well, and I think you see it, especially like Elon, I think only by nature of being such a vocal and visible proponent of all this shit and being, just being like, oh, we've got to reach space and humanity's future is in the star, like all that
Why is he
ad
German?
Astra, ad Sparrow shit. Look, it's my best attempt at whatever fucking South African vampire voice he does.
It would have been a good
it
Klaus
is-
Schwab impression. You should keep that in mind next time.
Okay,
you
I'll
need
keep
to be
that, yeah.
anti-Semitic, okay?
Yeah,
Thanks,
that's
buddy.
okay. That's going in the back pocket. I'm
Because
getting
you
rid of
keep
my Bernie
asking for
impression, man.
pointers. It's kind of weird.
Like
the past 2 episodes, you have asked me for pointers on Jew jokes, which is incredibly funny.
and which I said that, and you told me, and I watched all seasons of Curb Your Enthusiasm, and I feel like
That's true.
if anything,
That'd make
it just
anyone-
made me
Yeah.
That make anybody crazy. No,
Yeah.
I think when it comes to the like weird AI tech overlord stuff, there is this like this feeling of this divine right of kings that I think they have, where again you look at how insulated they are from the life that the rest of us lead, where they literally do not have like material worries, like as opposed to somebody like me, somebody like Rosa, somebody like you, Travis, I'm sure have
yes and no.
like,
They
well, how
do-
so?
They I think that the capitalist class lives under a very different stress, but another constant stress of constant need to be the most competitive within a market, which leads to this absolute craziness and these antisocial tendencies of viewing all of the working classes on one hand beneath you, but all of your peers as potential people to stab you in the back.
Well, and I
if you know
like,
what I
yeah,
mean.
but I
So-
mean more in terms of like they don't have to worry about a fucking car payment. They
Well,
don't have to worry
it's
about
not
being
these
overdrafted on rent.
these quote unquote lower level needs, but I think that the world that they live in is as stress filled as any other. I don't think that they're really to a large extent, even despite the fact that they can just kind of sit back and relax. I don't think that they generally do. I think that they view themselves as under constant threat, which is why they feel the constant need to support like hyper-reactionary organizations, lobby, etc., 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 just as a means of self-preservation.
Do we want to pause it right there?
Oh, sure. I'll do the plug. Thank you, Travis, for coming on for this first half. If you want to watch the second half, if you're not already, you can go to our Patreon linked in the description. In the second half, we're going to talk about things that we can't talk about on YouTube, like the number that 89, the number that 89. We're going to talk about. Bye.
Travis, thank you so much for coming on here. Where can people find your work and the podcast you and everybody else at Cursed Media is working on?
Yeah, please. If you just go into any podcasting app and just put in QAA, and we should pop right up. We are also, if you want to check out our miniseries, please go to cursedmedia.net and sign up. We're trying to build something that's going to help us create the kind of content that you just cannot hear anywhere else. So yeah, please check out QAA, your podcasting app, cursedmedia.net, and thank you so much.
Absolutely. And Rosa, where can people find all your stuff?
I host the Cumposting podcast. I review movies there. I work on a audiobooks project with the Solar Collective, which you can find on all podcasting apps and YouTube. It's called Library of the Communist Left. Cumposting is also on all podcast platforms and YouTube as well. And other than that, I tweet on Twitter. My @ is I hate saying my @ my @ is linked in the description.
You picked your @
it's an awesome @ it's an awesome banger of an @ except whenever we have a guest on, it's embarrassing because it's like I've had
now you're getting embarrassed
in my Apple podcast rotation for a while, so it's embarrassing to say my x.com account is @tradslvt on X, the everything app.
People are gonna mistake you with that username
with a U replaced with a V for you and me.
People are gonna mistake you for one of those conservative women influencers who's getting an internet cat
people
fights
already
with, like,
have
Earl Davis and shit.
You keep saying, like, I'm worried that people are gonna think that this is one of those politics podcasts where it's one left winger and one right winger. Which it is, because you're a right winger, I'm the left winger, but
sure.
Bang,
okay.
bang. Infight it. Get infighted on. Where can people find you, Jordan?
Fucking.
They already know. They already know.
Yeah, no, you can find me at Dead Domain on Twitter and
Dead Domain
on Instagram. Dead Domain. No, I'm getting inflicted with that Hassan disease where I have to mispronounce my name. Dead Domain on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. Come follow me. Come check out like cosplays and whatever else I do.
It's because Hassan is actually a CIA agent named Brian Williamson, who's a white boy from Nebraska. And he's not Turkish.
Damn, that's
part of his
dropping
deep cover.
I can't believe we're getting into Hassan's CIA shit right at the end. Yeah. Anyway, as always, thank you all for listening, and have a good rest of your day.